A shovel slams into bone before anyone speaks. The lean broad-shouldered man with close-cropped hair collapses without a sound. The garage door won't open. Her phone reads no signal. A body lies at her feet, twitching once, then still. She hears music drifting from the house. Laughter. As if nothing has happened. Hours earlier, the dark-haired man with a crescent scar on his wrist stared at his phone in disbelief. One perfect genetic match. A brother. The message included an address in rural Portugal. A family estate hidden in forested hills. He booked the flight immediately. The tall pale woman with platinum hair and sharp cheekbones waited at the doorway when they arrived. She did not blink. The lean broad-shouldered man with close-cropped hair embraced him like a mirror greeting its reflection. Same build. Same eyes. Dinner was elaborate. No servants. No neighbors. Only 4 plates at a long table built for 20. The auburn-haired woman noticed something first. No mirrors anywhere in the house. Not even in the bathroom. That night, music echoed again. Soft. Rhythmic. Coming from downstairs. He followed the sound to a marble room lit only by candles. The tall pale woman stood barefoot at its center. She touched his wrist. The crescent scar pulsed with sudden heat. He did not pull away. He woke in his room at dawn with no memory of returning. His clothes smelled faintly of smoke. The auburn-haired woman tried calling home from the balcony. No bars. No connection. Just static. She jogged beyond the gates the next morning. Signal returned the moment she reached the road. At a roadside produce stand, an elderly vendor froze when shown a photo of the estate. Her smile vanished instantly. Leave before night, the vendor whispered. They never let blood go. Back at the estate, the lean broad-shouldered man with close-cropped hair led his brother to a locked corridor downstairs. Behind the door, something breathed. Slow. Ragged. Human. The tall pale woman's voice echoed from behind them. You weren't meant to see that yet. The iron door swings wider. Inside, a frail gray-bearded man with hollow eyes strains against leather restraints bolted to the wall. The dark-haired man with a crescent scar on his wrist steps forward instinctively. The breathing turns into a broken whisper, run. The lean broad-shouldered man with close-cropped hair shuts the door abruptly. He's unstable, he says. We protect him from himself. Upstairs, the auburn-haired woman watches from the balcony as the forest wind picks up. She begins packing quietly. At dinner, the tall pale woman with platinum hair and sharp cheekbones raises a glass. To reunion, she says. No one else drinks. The dark-haired man with a crescent scar on his wrist takes a sip anyway. The taste is metallic, almost sweet. Minutes later, the room tilts. The chandelier stretches into a spiral of light above him. He wakes in the marble meditation room. Candles surround him in a perfect circle. The tall pale woman with platinum hair and sharp cheekbones stands behind him, whispering in a language he does not recognize. Across the room, the lean broad-shouldered man with close-cropped hair mirrors her movements exactly. Upstairs, the auburn-haired woman finds her suitcase unpacked. Clothes folded. Phone missing. She hears footsteps in the hallway. Slow. Bare. Dragging. The tall pale woman with platinum hair and sharp cheekbones stands in the doorway holding the missing phone. Signal is unreliable here, she says calmly, placing the device on the dresser. It powers off on its own. Downstairs, chanting grows louder. The dark-haired man with a crescent scar on his wrist tries to stand. His legs won't respond. The lean broad-shouldered man with close-cropped hair presses his palm against his brother's chest. The crescent scar glows faintly. The locked basement door rattles violently below them. Something inside is struggling harder now. The auburn-haired woman slips downstairs with a kitchen knife concealed under her sleeve. She unlocks the basement door. The frail gray-bearded man with hollow eyes collapses forward into her arms. "They recycle us," he rasps. "Blood keeps her young. Suns keep it stable." Upstairs, the chanting stops instantly. Silence crashes through the house. The dark-haired man with a crescent scar on his wrist opens his eyes. They are glassy. Unfocused. The lean broad-shouldered man with close-cropped hair smiles faintly. "It's beginning," he whispers. In the basement corridor, footsteps approach. Measured. Controlled. The auburn-haired woman drags the frail gray-bearded man with hollow eyes toward the garage. He can barely stand. The garage door remains locked from outside. No manual release. No emergency latch. The lean broad-shouldered man with close-cropped hair appears behind her. His shirt sleeves are rolled up. She swings first. The shovel connects with his shoulder. He barely reacts. He lunges. They crash into a workbench. Tools scatter across concrete. She grabs the shovel again and slams it downward with everything she has. Bone gives way. The frail gray-bearded man with hollow eyes watches, trembling, unable to move. Music begins again inside the house. Louder. Faster. The dark-haired man with a crescent scar on his wrist steps onto the second-floor balcony, moving mechanically. Below, the tall pale woman with platinum hair and sharp cheekbones looks up. Their eyes lock. In the garage, the auburn-haired woman realizes the man she struck is still breathing. Slow. Persistent. The frail gray-bearded man with hollow eyes whispers, she doesn't need him anymore. Upstairs, the dark-haired man with a crescent scar on his wrist grips the railing. The crescent mark burns bright red. The tall pale woman with platinum hair and sharp cheekbones begins ascending the staircase slowly. In the garage, the auburn-haired woman hears the front door open. Footsteps approach. She steps out to face whatever is coming. And this time, she doesn't plan to miss. The courtyard is empty. The music stops mid-note. Even the forest seems to pull back. A balcony door creaks above. The dark-haired man with a crescent scar on his wrist steps into view, staring down without recognition. The tall pale woman with platinum hair and sharp cheekbones stands behind him, one hand hovering inches from his back. "Jump," she whispers. His fingers tighten around the railing. The auburn-haired woman runs inside before he can move. Her footsteps echo through the hall. She takes the stairs two at a time. A door slams above her. On the balcony, the dark-haired man with a crescent scar on his wrist climbs onto the railing as if guided by invisible hands. She tackles him sideways. Both crash hard against stone tiles. The tall pale woman with platinum hair and sharp cheekbones watches without moving. Then she turns and walks toward the marble room. The crescent scar on his wrist fades from red to dull gray. He blinks rapidly, disoriented. She drags him toward the staircase. "Basement," she says. "Now." They reach the locked basement corridor. The iron door stands open. The frail gray-bearded man with hollow eyes lies motionless on the stone floor. A single candle burns beside him. Fresh wax drips. Behind them, the chanting resumes, closer this time. The lean broad-shouldered man with close-cropped hair appears at the corridor entrance, blood matting his hair. He is standing. He charges without a word. The shovel lies just beyond reach. The dark-haired man with a crescent scar on his wrist steps forward instead of retreating. They collide. Fists. Elbows. Bone against bone. The auburn-haired woman grabs the shovel and strikes the attacker's knee. Something snaps audibly. He collapses, screaming once before going quiet. This time he does not rise. The chanting stops again. The air feels heavier, thicker. They move toward the marble meditation room together. No more hesitation. The tall pale woman with platinum hair and sharp cheekbones stands at the center, hands extended. "You carry my renewal," she says to the dark-haired man with a crescent scar on his wrist. He looks at his wrist. The scar is fading completely now. The auburn-haired woman steps between them, shovel raised. The candles extinguish at once. Darkness swallows the room. A hand closes around the shovel handle from the other side. Metal clashes against marble. The shovel skids away across the floor. The tall pale woman lunges toward the dark-haired man with a crescent scar on his wrist. He sidesteps. She stumbles through the broken candle circle. The auburn-haired woman retrieves the shovel and swings upward. The blow lands across the tall pale woman's shoulder. Bone cracks. She drops to one knee. She reaches for the dark-haired man's wrist one last time. The scar is gone. He pulls away. No reaction. No heat. The auburn-haired woman strikes again. This time to the head. The tall pale woman collapses fully. She does not move. The house groans around them. A deep cracking sound echoes through the walls. They run for the front doors as dust rains from above. The estate begins to collapse inward.